AI is really changing a lot of that. And, I'm not copying and pasting by any means, but utilizing it to really take what I already have and just put it in a different format. So it's great.
Well,
I
that's what
love
it's
that.
great at. It's I look at it, it's like the ultimate leveler upper, right? And you
Yeah.
do with it what makes sense and what is strategic. Like it's going to let you write a proposal that you've never done before. It's going to let me do the same thing, right? Or whatever, we wanted to apply for a grant. I'm like, I don't know what grant writing is supposed to sound like. I know how I write and I know how writing a pitch deck works. I know how this works. So I'm able to use AI to up level myself at a thing I wasn't great at before. But you're also right. Like, please, everybody, edit that stuff.
Right.
I've actually switched modes recently. In fact, I put a post on LinkedIn today because my co-founder and I vibe coded the game, by the way. Talk about things you can do with AI. On Wednesday, we had an idea. We were playtesting it Wednesday night, putting on the final touches Thursday, and published it on Friday. And in the post, I wrote my own LinkedIn post, of course. But what I like to do now is I take the whole thing, I go to ChatGPT, and I give it a prompt almost like this. This is a post I'm putting on LinkedIn. Don't make any edits or changes for the sake of making edits or changes. Please identify for me either key grammatical flaws that might make me sound buffoonish or poor phrasings that could sound more professional, but at the same time, don't lose any of my tone and do not rewrite my post. And then instead of getting, here's a garbage version of your post back, I get a list of, here's some specific bullets. So for example, I still remember this. The phrasing I used is, we were looking for a thing to work on. Well, ChatGPT said it might sound more professional to say, we were looking for a project to work on. And it's true,
Mm,
right? That's casual talk versus sort of semi-business talk. And
right.
so now it's back into the place where I think AI works the best. It's helping me, not doing it for me. I don't
Right.
want things done for me. I do want help at my sides at all times. So
Right.
it's a little how I
It's
think about it.
I like it. Yeah, it's refining what you already have and just making it flow better. Yeah, that's true. Because like with my book, I had all the chapters. It was starting as top 10 instructional design models and theories. Then I expanded it as I started doing more solo episodes. So now it went from 12 chapters to 20. So I was like,
Oh my
whoa, this
gosh.
is bigger. But it was funny because I put all the models and theories in alphabetical order, thinking that would be the easiest thing. So I started with 4CID, ADDIE, went all the way down in alphabetical order. And then I put my all the chapters, the titles of the chapters into ChatGPT, and I said, "Hey, I'm writing a book. Here's the chapters. Do you think this is a good order?" And ChatGPT said, "Well, you know what? You might want to start with the foundational models and theories first, and then
Mm.
progress and go to the more complicated ones. 4CID is more complicated." So I'm like, oh my goodness, that's a great idea. So I switched things around and then I put it back in. I said, okay, how does this look? And then it said, yeah, you're doing better. Make some tweaks here. And it was like revelation. I was like, wow, I don't know if I would have thought of that. I maybe would have down the road, maybe with a publisher, but I think it's more
That's
polished.
great.
And yeah. And so if I do go to a publisher, I'll be like, here you go. Here's my, all my stuff. If they look at the proposal and they love it and they're like, yeah, this sample chapter looks good and we like where you're going with it. And I've got in the proposal it's got the chapters, but then it's got information about each chapter, just like a sentence or two, just to give them insight into it. So I'm like, yeah, so I feel like it's a lot more refined and ready to go. So that way it's less work on the back end, right? And maybe it can get published faster too. So AI is great
Yeah, well,
for those
you
things.